How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Once again, on this private investigator tip, doing my own research and just remembering the details of what was what's been going on in my life. The last time I recall mentioning that, you know, my sister sending all these people with San Francisco, these San Francisco fans or whatever they may be, but they're all wearing their colors. And I just realized that I realized a couple things, And first, I'm gonna start off though, something I want to make clear and something I believe was was one of the reasons that I was they were so focused on me. And a lot of times we do things in life that have another meaning to it, and we don't even realize it. So being a part of the Southern Hispanics in in prison, we were the only group that allowed other races into or allowed other races to walk with us, and program with us. And when I say allowed, I mean that we were the only ones that fought for it. So if the blacks had a white or Mexican, there would be war. If the whites had a black, well, the whites wouldn't take anybody. But the Southerners, as Mexicans, we're like the bridge in between color lines. So if a black brother were to, roll with us or be raised with us or what so have you, um, they'd be welcome into the car as us as a race. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that whether you believe it or not, or you recognize it or not, we're the only ones that had shed blood for to protect another race, which is the black brother. Even though we in prison because of politics, we fought. But the point I'm making is that when you want something done, you gotta fight for it, and and you can't just ask for it. You gotta go out there and do the dirty work to get it done. And I think by me supporting the Southern cause, supporting unity between the races, that Sacramento made me a target. I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but I just want to reiterate that racism exists on all types of levels and from behind closed doors. And I'm not perfect. At one point in my life, I've said things that were not correct, but in my life, I've broken bread with every race, every nationality. I share food and had good times. So now let's get back to the story where I believe I've been hunted down for a long time. And let's go back to Calipat. During Calipat, while I was at Calipat, and I mentioned that they had brought me down for high desert, dropping my points all of a sudden. There was this guy, his name was Yo-Yo from the Mara Salvatrucha. Well, he pretty much, pulled my leg and twisted me up to get involved in the on the yard politics. And so what I told him was, look, man, if we're having beef, we had just had the fellas had a melee with the blacks. So what I told him, like, if we're having beef, like between the races and stuff, that's my area of expertise. I'm willing to help at that level. So I went to another building and try to, build the relations, or however you want to say it. If not build relations, at least keep the peace. And so these guys were egging me on, trying to get me to be involved in politics, to the point where they were just handing me trying to force feed me things because there was an investigation going on, and I must have been a big part of this investigation, or I just must have been a strong target where they were trying to force me to be guilty of something that I wasn't guilty of. Now, during this time, they brought in, I realized they brought in a dude to live right next to me that was, trying to get involved in politics and in the mix. I can't remember his name right now, but he lived right next to me. And the funny thing is that he was from San Fernando Valley. And if you know what's up, dudes from San Fernando Valley, they wear the San Francisco color, the 49ers colors for the Soundfed. So now I'm trying to believe, I realized that one day he approached me and he told me that he has a girl that can look in all my files. And now I don't know if he was trying to pull me over as far as bring me over to the confidential informant side, or if they were threatening me. And sure enough, I declined to speak to him on that subject, and he was the one of the people that ended up plotting against me as far as the murder scheme. So there's 2 points to be made there. First of all, that he was working with whoever my sister was, or whoever she was connected to, or whatever that deal was. And the second point is that it becomes a premeditated murder, because the fact that I shot him down and they knew what was happening. So it's pretty much, now that I look at it, it's an admission of guilt, because you made yourself aware I was there. But then when it was time for me to get hurt, you guys were nowhere in sight. So, you kind of hung yourself there. And then I'm thinking even farther back to this, to my first day in state prison, Wasco State Prison. Getting a riot. Right after getting a riot, I get thrown in the cell with another guy from San Fernando. Which, like I said, they sport that SF bandera, that 49er bandit. And he was trying to get me to snitch. He was trying to turn me into a confidential informant. And I pretty much told that fool, hey, man, I don't care what the fuck you have to say. I'm going to do me. Leave me alone. And some older man and shit, I could tell he had a fucked up stilo. He was trying to push my buttons and brainwash me into some stuff that I was not, I wasn't feeling. I could tell he had a negative energy around him. But I'm trying to wonder what's up with the San Francisco thing. I don't know no Francisco. I don't respect nobody by that name. I'm a Dodger fan, puro Los Angeles, and so I'm wondering, what's up with that, I bleed blue, and I'm big Lou, so and all of this is connected. Now, after Calipat, I go to Donovan. I remember they had some kind of these classes where they were trying to teach kids, or us inmates, how to write resumes. And so I signed up for it because I haven't done nothing since I was in prison. I spent my whole life in prison dedicated to fighting, struggling with the corruption inside of the behind the walls, and trying to support my fellow man. And so I really just dedicated my life to that. Serious. I had nothing else to do, and like I said before, it was a great focus of energy. Well, anyways, when we go there, they bring in these business owners, and to be honest, they didn't look like business owners. They looked like doctors or lawyers. They didn't look like they'll be the type to be in a prison setting, and I had a strange feeling that day when I went there, as they all seemed to purposely not paying attention to me. So I believe this is somehow connected into the trials the type of testing that they were doing on me, and it's directly to related to some other surgeries or whatever that may be. Now, I'm not sure why they focused on me. I don't know if it's because they think I could tell the future. I do relate to people, and and I'm able to communicate with people in various different ways, and I have that energy that transcends color lines, attitudes, and just people who live on a hill somewhere and think they're better than the rest of us, and I think that they envy that and they hated me for it, and that they concentrated on trying to turn me over to their side, and when I refused, they concentrated on making me suffer every which way that they could. And so, let me see, I have a couple notes here. Yeah, as far as that's the connection, and I don't understand. I still question the connection of the 49ers and stuff, like 49ers and or Frisco, the Giants, or whatever it is, and the Dodgers is like comparing potatoes to tequila, man. Potatoes, I eat them up, shit them out, and tequila red sunrise makes me smile and brings light to this. So yeah, for those out there that know what's going on and have heard about this, you understand what I'm talking about, and you understand that oppression, that people that have money, they use that money to make laws to conform to their beliefs, and pretty much to keep us from climbing the ladder of success, and try to keep us from transcending into the other side of this planet, and that's it for today. This ain't in 3D, this is in 2D, baby. Thank you for listening.